Hey everyone, playing some Elder Scrolls Online, and I thought I'd record a little bit for you guys. This is my mom. I am playing a Breton Templar, wearing mostly heavy armor, but I wear cloth armor on the visible parts mostly, just to deceive the enemy, make him think that I'm a little bit squishier than I really am. Where do I find the water? Maybe I should lead her to the water. My mom isn't the greatest at these kind of games. That's why she's got me to help her. I'm pretty low, over leveled for this kind of area. And yeah, the weird thing about this game, unlike some other online games, is when you're questing with someone, you don't really share any of their quest markers, so you have no idea what your group members are doing. And many people are saying that the storyline is more of a solo kind of thing, where as like the dungeons, it's where you're gonna get your real multiplayer action. And I haven't done a dungeon yet. I'm hoping to do one tonight. I will record that for you, everyone. Right now I'm just kind of recording for the fun of it. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that you can't really tell what your group member is doing. And I mean, I'm sure that's a difficult thing for them to do with all the phasing that occurs in the game. I mean, there's a lot of phasing. Take a look at my map. I'd say the majority of what I've done here is phased. Even the main city is phased. There's when you first arrive at the main city, the Airfall, you're attacked by assassins periodically while traveling through the city, and once you finish a certain quest, the assassins go away, and it's all phased. And I even sometimes come across another player that is not in the same phase as I am, and they'll have an assassin just attack them out of nowhere, and you know, I'll help them out, but it's interesting how sometimes the phasing works. I know in certain areas the phasing will actually make it so that your group members can no longer see you or you see them. Yeah, and that's a huge deal, right? I mean, it really takes away from the multiplayer experience of questing. And it's just sad. I mean, it's still fun. It's still fun to play with someone. Well, I've been doing, oh, yeah. See, I hit things really hard now. But I mean, there shouldn't be any reason not to quest with someone in a multiplayer game, honestly. And I know they're probably bugs, and they're probably fixing this. But right now it's kind of it's unfortunate. It takes away from my enjoyment of the game. But I enjoy the game a lot already, so this is just one of those things where once this is fixed, this game like be even that much better. You know, all of the bad things I find in this game, I know they're gonna be fixed, and once they're fixed, it's gonna make the game that much better. And you know, I think it's worth it. And I think my mom is on one of these quests that are also kind of difficult in the game because of the fact that you have to put fires out to save citizens, and when you put the fires out, it puts it out for everyone. So you can wander around this place forever trying to put a fire out, but there's never a fire because someone else has already put it out. And that's even more of a, you know, a problem with phasing. You know. Okay. Nice job, Mom. They have so much phasing in the game that when certain players are phased in with you, it takes away from the phase you're in. Really? That's not good. But again, something that should be fixed by release. I'm not saying it will be fixed by release, 100% at least, but should be fixed by release. And those are, you know, more of the bigger problems too with the game. As far as abilities and actual like combat, the combat is really the bread and butter of the game, I think. I really enjoy the feeling of hitting someone with a sword. I mean, the next patch that I read that I thought was going to be part of this beta weekend added collision detection with enemies, and I was really excited about collision detection and just having a greater feel of your attacks in combat, and I thought the attacks were already feeling pretty good, so just to know that there's more on the way, could it ruin it? Yeah, it's possible that it could make it worse. But honestly, with the way that it's been, yeah, with the way it's been so far, I can't imagine it being bad. It's just, you know, you hit someone with a sword, especially if they're disoriented. If you hit a disoriented weapon enemy with a heavy attack, that person just is on the ground. You just floored them. It's a great feeling, just flooring enemies. I feel like there aren't many games where the weight of your attack has an ability to, you know, knock the enemy over. It's a feeling of empowerment, even though the enemies are pretty tough. You know, if I were fighting enemies my own level, it's hard. I'm already... I actually fought 2 of these little imps, level 6, fought 2 of them, and, you know, I was pretty nonchalant about it. Just, you know, la la la, wasn't really paying attention. They got me down to 30% health. So, if you're not paying attention and you're fighting an enemy half your level, it's possible that they can kill you. More than possible that they can kill you. Sometimes I swing my sword a few more times than I need to, just to make sure they're dead. Because like I said, if they're not dead, they're going to be hitting you, and things can hit pretty hard if you don't put a lot of your points into health, you know. And there aren't really many reasons to put your points into health while you're leveling. I mean, if you don't put any points into your magicka or stamina, that means you have less resources, and your resources are what you need to do anything. In most cases, it's better to have more magicka than it is to have health. If I have magicka, I can heal. And that's about 50% of my health healed back. That's better than having points into health, I think. And I may be wrong. If you start number crunching and all that, I don't do that really. But what was I saying? Number crunching. If you start doing that, I'm sure you're gonna find ways. I mean, a lot of people are saying because you get more points into health, you should always put your points into health. But that's what they're saying for end game. Once you hit level 50 and redistribute your points to your optimal, no more leveling, I guess. Enemies are always gonna stay at a static difficulty, really. Or PvP, having health in PvP is always good. But that's, lower resources, and once you run out of resources, you're a sitting duck. Unless you have potions. So, there's a lot to consider when putting out attribute points. My mom still has not finished this quest. She is trying to find some citizen, and if I could help her, I could take her there. But I did this quest last beta weekend. So I have no clue where these guys are. Oh, and there's a dark anchor. It's broken. Yeah. There's no more enemies spawning out of it. So everyone's just left and let it stand there. I like the sound of a dark anchor. It's very ominous. You think something's gonna go down and it's gonna be, crap, but I guess my mom is interested in this. I have no idea. But yeah, it's really cool. Enemies fly out of the sky and hit the ground in a burst of light, and pop out, and there's all sorts of action. You try to fill these things with dangerous souls, and once they're filled enough, they can be destroyed, and then the anchor blows up. It's cool, but it's broken, and it's broken a lot too. And this is all stuff that should be fixed in the next patch, and I'm surprised that the next patch is not going on right now. I feel like, they get only so many beta weekends to have us test the game, and they have a patch that's not out for this beta weekend. That seems like a bad call on their part. Maybe there's a reason for the call. I don't know. I am a developer. I can think of some reasons to make the call. But I think of more reasons to have us testing it. Even if it's bugged, like, it can't be any more bugged than what we're dealing with now. Alright, I take that back. I guess it could be more bugged. But if it's more bugged, they're doing something pretty poorly. And I'd hate to say that because I know they're trying hard. I really know that for a fact. And collision detection, that's a huge thing to just add like a month before release. Seriously. And that's something I really wanted to try out on my system, because collision detection is going to add a lot more calculations to your system. And it's worth knowing how well your system's going to handle that. My guess is there's a bug quest. Whenever there's a few players just standing around a spot, it usually means that something's bugged. That's not good. And, she might have just been talking to an NPC, I don't know. Like, if I could see what she was doing, I could help her out with it, but I can't. It may not be bugged, she could have just been turning in a quest, who knows. Well, that's it for this segment. I plan on doing more recordings. I want to record action. I want to just kind of record when I have some thoughts about what's going on. So, it's time to end this segment. It's been a pleasure.